Hi and welcome to this video log with me, Wayne, from swimmingcyclingrunning.com. Well, you can see today I'm surrounded by methods by which you can film people. And the reason for that is we've gone back into a second lockdown. But within that lockdown we are allowed to meet one person, one-to-one, outdoors. And that can include a coach or someone who might be able to film you. Now at this time of year we really want to get back into the basics of everything we do. And that includes running. So what we want to do is we want to analyze our current form, look at where we want to be and plan how we're going to get there. And there's nothing better to do that than actually filming yourself and analyzing it. Now one thing's absolutely true. If your footage isn't really good, if you don't take really steady footage, you're actually going to end up with video that you can't use that well. Because you're not going to be able to see where the foot strike is, you're not going to be able to see where the hips are going, where the line of the legs are and everything else. And you need to be able to do that to be able to analyze it successfully. Now, as always, if you're finding this useful, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when we've uploaded more videos. And if you do like the content, just click that like button because it really does help the channel. Also, if you want to find out about one-to-ones with me that we can do right now or online coaching, please head to the website. You'll find lots of free information and free help, plus all the things that we offer as swimmingcyclingrunning.com. So I'm going to go over some of the methods I use to actually get really crisp footage. The first thing we need to do is get steady footage. Now we've all got a smartphone and here is one, but this is actually on a gimbal, and that means wherever I move the gimbal actually stays dead steady. That makes it really good footage. I wouldn't really want to take a video of someone without having a gimbal there. Now a phone will have steady technology to keep it steady, so if you use that you will actually get better footage than if you didn't. But a gimbal is a really good way to do it. Now the latest gimbals are actually under £100, so they're really good for taking on holiday and anything else and getting excellent footage with your phone. You can take snaps and you can take video, and with this one, for example, you can actually zoom in if you want to, and you can change various things to make sure you've got absolutely great video. Now most phones can take video up to 4K, but if they take 4K at 24 to 29 frames a second, that's not really fast enough to see your footfall when you're running. So what you really want to do is perhaps reduce the quality to 2.7K or even 108p, and take it at either 60 or 120 frames a second. And 120 frames a second, you really do get a good look at your footfall and anything else that's happening as you run. Of course, some of you may have one of these. This is a GoPro. This is the Gopro Hero 7. But you can see I've actually got it on a gimbal as well. Yeah, I believe in gimbals. The GoPro has fantastic stabilization right in the GoPro itself, but I find if you add that to a gimbal you get even better footage. Now the setting I would tend to have my GoPro on is 2.7K at least 60 frames a second. Now I know that the new GoPro Hero 9 is phenomenal at stabilization and ranking up the 4K to 60 frames a second. Take that down to 2.7K and hit 120 frames a second and you will get crisp, lovely footage just with the GoPro. Add a gimbal and you're actually doing even better. Now let's just talk about lighting for a second. Clearly we do need good lighting, but you can actually adjust the settings on your camera. Most cameras have a natural automatic ISO setting, but if you need to you can probably ramp that ISO setting higher. If you ramp the ISO setting higher, it means more light is actually going to be seen by the camera. So in darker conditions, say a setting instead of 100, a setting of 800, ISO 800, might actually get you really good footage, whereas the 100 would be too dark. So just think of that if the sun's going down, especially as we're in winter. Now one of the problems if you don't have a gimbal, you have to stay in one place, and if you're going to stay in one place then you really need to use one of these if you have one. This is a tripod. It's a very simple one. This only costs about £20, and all you do is you pan following the person, which means you get really stable footage as they come through. For £20, that's exceptionally good value for something that can really just stabilize without any technology, just with the ordinary things that you have. See, that's just easily stabilizing my pan from right to left. But if you actually want to follow someone, to run with someone, you really only have two options. And one is a gimbaled something, and this obviously happens to be the GoPro. Well, I can run along with this, and because I've got a gimbal and the GoPro, it's actually going to follow someone really well, right up to, as I say, 2.7K at 120 frames a second. So this is a really good setup for anyone who actually wants to follow someone as they're actually running along. However, you can't go very far. If you want to go far, you've got to do something else. And then this comes into play, and this is a drone. Now, I've got a drone specifically for following people further afield, so I can actually go around a track or around a specific area that I've designated, that I can follow someone right next to them, in front of them and behind them, and actually get exceptionally good footage. If you have a drone, fantastic. Now, you do need to be registered. That's my registration on the front there, as both the drone and a flyer in the UK, and I think anywhere else virtually in the world now. And there are lots of places you cannot fly a drone, so please follow the rules. But if you do follow the rules, this is just naturally stabilized footage that is really, really good quality. So it is time when we need to get back to basics. We need to get back to basics in our running, and in the UK we can still do one-to-ones outside as a coach and a runner. And we can do that virtually anywhere. So we need to find a good place, get some good footage, get some good analysis, and in the winter we're going to get much better runners as we go through. Okay, that's it for this week. If you want a one-to-one session with me, just get in touch with me, and hopefully we'll be able to arrange something if we're close enough. But anything's possible. Remember, it can only be one-to-one. We can't do group sessions at this point in time. But whatever the case, and wherever you are, please stay safe, stay well, enjoy your training, and if possible, enjoy your racing.